There is a company worth $3 trillion that is quietly making its best product completely unlovable. Not because a competitor beat them, not because technology passed them by, because every single decision they make keeps pushing their own customers toward the exit door. And the strangest part is this: the people leaving are not switching to a competitor that out-innovated them. They are switching to something that has been sitting free on the internet for 30 years. Before we get into exactly how this is happening right now, hit that like button and subscribe, because what you are about to hear will change how you look at your own computer forever. What you are about to hear involves three things Microsoft does not want connected: a quiet series of decisions that turned the world's most used software into something people are desperate to escape; a hidden cost that nobody talked about until 240 million people felt it at once; and a timing coincidence so perfectly aligned it is starting to look less like accident and more like inevitability. Let's get into it. To understand what Microsoft is doing to Windows, you need to understand one specific number: 240 million. That is how many perfectly working personal computers Microsoft declared officially obsolete when it launched Windows 11. Not broken computers, not slow computers. Computers that worked completely fine yesterday declared incompatible overnight, because Microsoft quietly raised its hardware requirements to a level hundreds of millions of existing machines could not meet. That single decision hit like a wrecking ball, because it was not presented as a choice, it was presented as a deadline. Upgrade your hardware, buy a new machine, or lose security updates and become vulnerable to every threat on the internet. Those were the options Microsoft offered to people who had already paid for their computers and already paid for Windows. There was no negotiation, no exception for budget users or small businesses or schools running tight finances. It was not a temporary inconvenience to wait out. It was a permanent forced cost disguised as a routine software update, and that forced cost set everything that follows into motion. Now, here is where most people assume Microsoft simply miscalculated, made one bad call, would course correct eventually, because a company that size always does. And Windows 11 did launch. It looked cleaner, it felt more modern. Tech reviewers called it a reasonable upgrade. Microsoft's stock kept climbing. On paper, everything looked fine. Critics who warned about the hardware requirements were told they were overreacting. Analysts said enterprise customers would absorb the upgrade costs. Journalists moved on to the next story. And for about 18 months, it genuinely seemed like the concern was overblown. And honestly, at that point, those reassurances seemed right. But what almost nobody was tracking underneath the surface was that Microsoft was not done making decisions. It was just getting started. And every decision that followed the Windows 11 launch pushed a different group of customers one step closer to a door they had never seriously considered walking through before. Because behind the clean Windows 11 interface, something was being built that had nothing to do with making your computer work better. Microsoft quietly introduced a feature called Recall. Its purpose to take a screenshot of everything happening on your screen every few seconds. Every document, every email, every private conversation, every password field, stored locally but processed through Microsoft's AI systems. What almost nobody outside the security community understood immediately was what this actually meant. Every single thing you do on your computer, photographed, indexed, searchable by Microsoft systems permanently. The backlash was immediate and enormous. Microsoft paused the rollout, but here is what matters. They did not cancel it. They delayed it. The intention remained. Think about what Google did building Gmail, offering free email in exchange for reading your messages to serve ads. Microsoft is attempting something structurally identical with your entire computer. Not just your email, everything. And this is exactly where the story stops being about one bad feature and starts being about what Microsoft actually believes your computer is for. Here is a number that should genuinely make you stop. Windows runs on approximately 1,400,000,000 personal computers worldwide right now. For almost 4 decades, that number felt like gravity, permanent, unchallengeable, simply the way computers worked. But here is what that number actually represents in 2025. 1,400,000,000 computers whose users now face a choice Microsoft forced on them. Pay for new hardware to run Windows 11 properly. Accept a feature that screenshots everything you do, or find something else. For decades, almost nobody seriously considered the third option because no alternative felt ready for normal people. And here is the timing coincidence that changes everything. The exact moment Microsoft made Windows 11 expensive, invasive, and restrictive free alternatives that had spent 20 years solving their own problems finally became genuinely usable for everyday people. Put those two forces together, and you get a moment that does not come around in technology very often. A dominant platform making itself undesirable at the exact moment its best alternative became genuinely ready. Timing like that does not come around often. Here is the twist that most American coverage of this story completely misses. This is not just a story about frustrated home users anymore. Germany's regional government migrated 30,000 computers off Windows this year. France's National Assembly made the switch. The city of Munich moved 15,000 machines. India's government formally recommended free alternatives for public sector use across the entire country. Every government IT department that watched Microsoft declare 240 million computers obsolete overnight drew the same conclusion. A vendor that can force that cost on its customers once will do it again. And a government cannot build national infrastructure on a platform whose terms can change overnight in Redmond, Washington. They are not just choosing cheaper software, they are buying insurance against ever being forced into an upgrade cycle they did not choose by a company they cannot control. And insurance like that spreads fast. Once one government shows its neighbors the bill, it just avoided paying. And here is the part that should make every Microsoft executive genuinely uncomfortable when they see it clearly. Every decision Microsoft made to increase revenue from Windows, the hardware requirements, the forced Microsoft accounts, the recall feature, the subscription pushes, the ads in the start menu was designed to make Windows more valuable to Microsoft. Instead, every single one of those decisions made Windows less valuable to the people actually using it. The very strategy designed to lock customers in deeper became the origin story for the largest Windows migration away from Microsoft in history. Every restriction added urgency to leave. Every forced cost became one more reason to finally try something free. That is the blueprint now sitting on the desk of every government IT director on Earth. If you made it this far, you now understand something most people using Windows every day have never stopped to think about. Like this video, if it changed how you see your own computer. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. Do you think Microsoft course corrects before it is too late? Or does Windows keep losing ground for good? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want to understand which country is leading the replacement charge fastest right now, that video is coming next.